Skibidi Toilet number 70, part 3. We are reacting to the analysis today. Now, I told you guys we were going to be doing this because it was a long episode, and there was a lot of secret stuff that we didn't really see in it. But my boy, Elite Cameraman, is going to show me all that we missed, so let's jump into it.
Hello,
it's like
everyone.
20 minutes, by the way.
Cameraman here.
Get your popcorn.
We really just witnessed the craziest and the saddest Skibidi Toilet episode ever.
Yes, it was.
I literally was in shock for 15 minutes after watching two of many people's favorite characters die.
15 minutes,
and with that,
he said.
The whole bunker squad has been killed, other than Lucky Cameraman, who snuck
R.I.P.,
in.
man.
And we'll have to talk about him later in the video.
R.I.P. to my
with
boy.
how much that was revealed in today's episode and how much stuff that's been teased, I don't even know where to start. The fact that the duo we all loved and adored died is
bro.
crazy.
They killed off the
But
duo.
hopefully they'll at least become legends in the Alliance, and many new heroes will be. Also, let's not forget that
Maybe they get brought back to life.
that episodes
Who
after
knows?
70 will be coming out much faster in an announcement about a month ago.
That's a bet.
Which
I didn't know
means
that.
we'll probably start seeing more episodes unlike the last few months. Waiting 1 or 2 weeks for each episode, still waiting for this episode was 100% worth it.
Oh,
because
yeah,
it was
a
a whole
6
6 minutes of pure
A
craziness.
6-minute episode. That's the longest
This
one,
episode probably
right?
will stay as the longest episode of Skibidi Toilet
There
for
you
a
go.
long while if Boom wants to make episodes faster. Before we get into the analysis
Oh, I can't wait
itself,
for that.
Make
Maybe
sure to
like
like this video
1 or
and
2 a week.
subscribe to pay your respects to our
That'd
two
be sick.
heroes, Dark Speakerman
Hit
and
that
our
subscribe
beloved
button if you
Plunger
haven't yet,
Cameraman.
guys. We're this close to
Anyways, here we go.
700K, please.
This episode starts with
Much
the
love.
ending of episode 70 part 2, and there is actually a very small change compared to the ending of episode 70 part 2, which is actually a new Easter egg that
I didn't
Boom
see a
put
change.
in, and it's literally an egg. For some context, there is a YouTuber called Steak.
Literally
and
an
a week
egg.
ago I made a video about one of the troll leaks, and here is what I said. Actually had his fair share of encounters with Dafuk Boom also. But the last one really did not end up well for him because he made a live streamed titled "Shaving My Eyebrows If Dafuk Boom Joins."
That's it,
And yeah,
bro.
you can see how that
Not
ended
the
up.
eyebrows.
Before this, he also shaved his
That
head in
man's
one of
steak.
the live streams, and people started calling him Egg instead of Steak, which made Dafuk Boom making the egg toilet canon.
That's kind of
Even
sick,
though
though.
this leak
That's
is
cool.
most
I
likely
didn't even
a
see
troll
that.
leak, you never know, because if you look at the background, it's actually the same background as the leak on the merch store, which might actually mean that the egg toilet is in episode 70 part 2. After all this, as you guys saw, Boom made a troll leak about his bald head and face making an egg toilet meme. But something happened 2 days ago, and on Creekcraft's
I didn't
stream,
see it
he
in
said that
this
he'd let
video at
Steak
all.
stream on his channel once if episode 70 part 3 had the egg toilet in it, and to our surprise, Boom actually put the egg toilet right at the
it
start of the episode
did.
on the right side, making it canon in the Skibidi universe.
I did not even see
that
that.
egg toilet
That's
might
funny.
solo the whole Skibidi verse one day, but anyways, after this, we see the bunker duo fly towards the end
It
of
had
the
the headphones
hallway,
on, too.
and
That's
suddenly
cool.
the door starts opening, but right at the same time, the Plunger Cameraman's camera starts glitching out once again, just like when it happened in episode 68
Okay, with this, I
part
didn't
2,
expect them to
when he
have
was
the
looking at
invisibility thing.
factory. I think we can safely say that the transmission error and the recording error shows up every time the secret agent is present, so that his presence doesn't get recorded.
True.
This also might mean that all the times any cameraman looked at the secret agent before episode 68
Nothing
part
was
2
recorded.
also should have had the same message, but we just didn't see it since Boom didn't put it while editing back then. Also, this time it was a lot different since Plunger Cameraman actually heard the secret agent talking. First, while the door was opening and
The
big
secret
laser
agent. See, I thought
toilet
it was
is
the
coming out,
creator.
we hear him say, "It's fine, get out." But that's not all, since Plunger Cameraman actually becomes invisible while this is happening, which is crazy, because this was
That was
actually one
crazy.
of Secret Agent's abilities. And this means that he can use this ability on others
I was
as
like,
well.
why is he going so slow?
But that's still not all, since when Plunger Cameraman realizes he is invisible, he looks behind to see the Dark Speakerman being invisible as well.
They were all
But once
invisible.
again, that's not all. We suddenly see a cameraman hiding behind the wall with a green flashlight, just like the green of the secret agent, and he suddenly becomes invisible right in front of us. And he probably
I saw
was the
that,
one
but I
that made
didn't
us invisible.
think about the green.
This goes deeper because do you guys remember the ghost cameraman we saw at the end of
Yeah, I
episode
did mention
70
that.
part
I
1?
mentioned this.
I guess the two ghost cameramen we saw were the secret agent special cameramen. I don't know if they are a special breed of cameraman
See, I
or
saw
if he
that
has
one.
agents in other races as well. But this was a crazy reveal.
That
While
is
this
a pretty
going
crazy
on, we
reveal.
actually hear a
That's
couple
good
more
story
lines from the
lineage.
secret agent while the bunker duo is walking inside the scientist toilet's room, and plunger cameraman actually sees the secret agent talking to the scientist toilet at the last second, which will be important for us later in the analysis.
So why is the
So don't
secret
forget
agent
about
talking
it.
to the scientist?
Now let's talk about what the secret agent said to the scientist toilet. His first line was, "It is fine, get out." And after a couple seconds he says, "You are not needed," to the scientist toilet. And right after scientist toilet yaps and secret agent tells him, "You want to escape? My little pawn will kill you."
Dang.
And after this he also says, "Guess I can't be trusted, goodbye," to scientist toilet, and he leaves the FaceTime with scientist toilet just like how I leave my FaceTime with TV woman.
Okay, that's it.
Rizzy.
Looking all
Anyways,
rizzy.
Here you go. Listen to all he said carefully.
I didn't even hear him say any of this. I don't think. Unless I just don't remember it. Yeah, I wasn't listening that deep. You can hear it in the background a little bit. Yeah, I didn't hear any of that still, really. I heard bye. It was about it. You gotta listen
in these
real
voice
closely.
lines, when secret agent says, "You want to escape, my little pawn will kill you," most likely refers to the fact that scientist toilet had an escape plan, and we saw him try and escape later in the episode, and in this example, his little pawn is most likely plunger cameraman, since he literally has been using him as a pawn with some outside influence, leading him all the way here. Only thing I don't understand is the "I can't be trusted" line, because why would the secret agent say that to the scientist toilet?
Yeah, why was he trusting him? You know what I'm saying?
Also, we have the problem of the
evil,
secret
bro?
agent working with the toilets, but until now, we all thought he was working with the cameraman
Right.
because of the way he gave Lucky Cameraman information, but it turns out
He's
that Lucky
double-sided.
Cameraman actually was an insider, and he was on secret agent's side. Maybe after episode 65, he was hired or captured by the secret agent to change sides, because it sounds like the secret agent isn't necessarily
That's
helping
where he got
one
that
side,
remote.
but instead he is his own side in this war.
I forgot about
We'll
that
talk
moment.
more about this later in the video when I'm talking about the part where he is talking to plunger cameraman, so
There were
make
so
sure
many
to
of the
watch the
parts.
video until the end so that you don't miss any of it. After all this, we see that the error messages are gone, and scientist toilet turns to us, and since the bunker duo is now visible
He's
again,
got that cheese.
the laser toilet that just went by them starts coming back instantly, but
Shuts
plunger
the door.
cameraman closes
Reggie?
the door right at the last second before he gets shot by the lasers and dodges it instantly.
What was that
This
face
leads
he
to
made?
scientist doing the rock vine boom, emote being shocked that plunger cameraman has a remote that can close and open doors.
He said,
But he just goes back to normal and
How'd you
clicks some
get that?
buttons to enable the laser guns inside his room to kill off the bunker duo. Plunger cameraman is fast enough to hack the first one in time,
Easy money.
but he doesn't see the second
Not
one
so easy
until
money.
he gets shot by the laser. He instantly hacks that one too after getting shot. And plunger cameraman also sees the scientist toilet trying to leave the room from the back door, but he also hacks that and closes the door.
Beautiful.
Seeing this scientist toilet
You
is
ain't
a
going
little
nowhere,
shaken
big
and
fella.
tries to use his teleport powers while saluting plunger cameraman, but plunger cameraman hacks that as well, and I'ma be honest, at this point they are already violating the Baldy,
They
giving
are.
him no respect. This makes
Just
him
hacking
actually
his
go
whole
mad
career.
and pull out his own laser gun, but plunger cameraman dodges it. And while he is distracted with plunger cameraman, Dark Speakerman suddenly
Here
throws
we go,
his
bro.
spear on scientist
Here
toilet's
we
head
go.
and jumps on him. But I guess this old fella's reflexes are better than Joe Biden because he blocks Dark Speakerman. And just like that wasn't enough, blood turned to plunger
no.
cameraman who was about to attack him in light speed to knock him back. And literally
He's
split
got them
Dark
reflexes,
Speakerman
bro.
in half in front of plunger cameraman. This was the moment I realized this episode wasn't going to end well.
Yeah, that was
After
that was
scientist
crazy.
throws Dark Speakerman's broken body, plunger cameraman jumps on him one more time, but scientist toilet stops him once again. Thankfully for the bunker duo, Dark Speakerman
Even with half a
unexpectedly
body,
strikes again with his
he's still
jetpacks,
going.
even though half his body is gone, showing how durable he is. He literally breaks scientist toilet's glasses, and this leads to plunger cameraman stabbing scientist toilet in the eye with his spiky plunger. This makes him even more mad, and blood shoots plunger cameraman
With
with his
the
laser
plunger,
while he is
though.
right next to him. Plunger cameraman blocks the attack last second with his gun to take less damage.
Good block.
This knocks off plunger cameraman, and we witness one of the saddest moments of the series.
This is sad right here. This is sad. Grab your tissues, ladies and gentlemen.
Right before shooting his laser onto the defenseless dark speakerman who was flipping him off in his last moments.
He was giving him a thumbs up.
It also looks like Scientist Toilet stole the remote control
thumbs
from
up. You can't see
Cameraman because we see the remote in his hands and he unhacks himself with an evil smile on his face and tries to teleport again. But this doesn't end well for him. For the first time ever, we see Large TV Man's second ability, where he uses the black TV beam and actually vacuums the teleport ability out of Scientist Toilet, which is crazy.
I didn't even know that's what he did, to be real with you.
We can see that his 4 arms have been changed from TV monitors to speakers, which probably adds on to his powers, making him like a mini version of Cinema Man.
That's true.
Here we can also hear him say something in reverse, and he says, "My technology." Here you go, listen to it yourself.
My technology, give me it. Nowhere did I hear my technology, to be real with you.
He decides to use the laser on Large
Did you all
TV
hear that?
Man, but he is not really affected and actually uses his bright white TV beam to knock back Scientist Toilet, and not gonna lie, I was surprised by this beam's powers.
That was strong, bro.
Large TV Man is crazy powerful when you think about it. After the scientist is pushed back, they try to use the stun guns on him, but they don't seem to work. And Scientist Toilet presses some buttons to open the hatch under him.
Bro, the next episode, I'm assuming it's gonna be 71.
This leads the squad on the left to go back, while Large TV Man
says, be crazy.
"Fall back now," in reverse.
Might have a funeral
Here
to go to, bro.
Listen to it yourself.
I am not hearing a fall back now.
I
don't know how he's getting these transcripts.
G-Man toilet base
that is,
from the hatch
I didn't
with
hear
crazy
that at all.
Powerful lasers and shot the freaking door even though it was closed. I think this was where he really went cuckoo and started acting actually crazy. And oh my God, literally a second later, our saviors, our beautiful, beloved heroes, show up from the back door.
Our beautiful, beloved heroes.
The female trio arrives with their new upgrades and jump on the back of the scientist
Look at the trio!
And the large cameraman starts distracting the scientist toilet.
Savage.
While they are spinning, we can actually see the female trio cutting a hole behind the scientist toilet's mechanic body.
I didn't even see that either.
Body. Since now they know it was a fake body, Scientist manages to kill the large cameraman and stops to laugh for a second. But before I continue, we need to talk about Scientist Toilet's eyes here, because we can see that his glasses were broken, and his eyes are clearly red here. Does this mean that the bodies that have red eyes are actually mechanical bodies?
I didn't notice that
very
either.
Possible, but at the same time,
I like watching these analysis
videos. The Scientist Toilet didn't have a red eye on his old mechanical body at first, but he got it afterwards, which is weird, so if you guys have any theories about it, let me know. After he stops for a second, we can literally see his reaction, and if I'm honest, his reaction looked like someone put something up his butt. Suddenly he starts screaming and crashing everywhere before his main body gets out of the back with my beloved TV woman using her beam.
Yeah, maybe it's just the big mechanical ones that have the red eyes.
Katanas, and camera woman shooting him non-stop.
They were bodying.
This leads to him throwing each female agent off to the ground. But how dare he touch my TV woman before I could touch her?
Dang.
This is unacceptable.
Yo, chill.
And a few moments after he gets what he deserves, after throwing everyone off to the ground, while he is literally shaking,
he tries to escape from the
Plunger
roof.
Cameraman turns to his left for a second.
Bro, he got the ultimate disrespect.
The female trio from the leaks
by Titan
Speakerman.
You'll see what I'm saying.
We can clearly say that all three of them are worried, but Scientist Toilet presses some more buttons to open the hatch up top to try and escape. But the violation on the Baldy doesn't stop here, because the second the hatch opens up,
this was pure
we see
violation.
The Titans that have been waiting for this moment for so long, and they literally pass on the Scientist Toilet as if he is a toy.
A toy.
First Titan Cameraman uses his core flames to burn him to a crisp, making him a chicken nugget. After this, he gives it to Titan TV Man, who crushes the burning nugget head with the Roblox Man face on.
Nah, this next one is disrespectful.
The scientist
right
to
here.
Titan Speakerman. And this was the moment we all been waiting for, because Titan Speakerman first waits until Scientist Toilet stops scream and uses his speakers right next to his face, but that's not all.
That's not all, bro.
I don't know what
Look
got
at this.
inside him, but blood turned into a demon for a
just
second.
kept
He started
going.
smashing Scientist Toilet for 10 seconds straight, getting faster each smash.
Like,
and the other
bro.
Titans just watched with awe.
Done
But
with.
before we continue, did you guys notice that upgraded Titan TV Man's left shoulder monitor has been broken? We didn't see when or why this happened, but they clearly had some fights before arriving at the top of the bunker, and we'll probably never know what happened. After this, they throw the scientist's body onto the ground,
I didn't see that.
and there is literally nothing left of his face, but sadly for us, even though we won the battle, it really wasn't a good ending.
Nah,
we see the large TV man teleport in front of us, but weirdly, he is also damaged a lot.
I mean, he got hit by those big lasers, I think.
On the left side has been completely wiped up other than him and 2 cameramen on his shoulders. But
yeah, it was the lasers,
he is missing
bro.
2 speakers, and one of them is burning alongside the damages on his body, and his actual monitor being broken with something sticking out.
It was totally the lasers. I don't know how he's confused.
He says, just a scratch in reverse to Plunger Cameraman. Here you go, listen to it yourself
I
before
think,
we move on
anyways,
to the saddest scene in the series.
The big laser shooting through the door, right? It had to still hit him, because it didn't just block it.
After this, Plunger Cameraman crawls next to Dark Speakerman, who is having his last seconds, and he dabs him for one last time before his body completely shutdowns, giving us the saddest moments in the entire history of Skibidi Toilet.
Man.
He really was a good fellow and only tried to look out for his best friend.
Wait, I thought Plunger Man died
but
too.
they weren't really in the best terms the last couple hours of their friendship. Make sure to like and subscribe to pay your respects to our hero. We can even see my beloved TV woman doing a cry emoji while looking at Dark Speakerman. Don't worry, TV woman, I'll comfort you anytime you want. Literally seconds later, the sadness of the episode disappears because of a sudden glitch in Plunger Cameraman's camera, and he starts seeing the lucky cameraman who we thought died last episode far back. He zooms in to see if it's actually him, and it looks like the lucky cameraman is actually sad about what's happening, and he decides to walk away.
We were all
He
sad, big fella.
most likely knows what's going to happen next, and I don't think he wants to see it. Even though he is on the side of the secret agent, I think we can safely assume that he cared about all of these agents and can't bear to watch it.
So maybe Plunger Man didn't die. I don't know why I thought that.
Cameramans once again, because 2 random ghost cameramen appear out of thin air.
It was just
and they
Speakerman,
shake hands weirdly, as if it's their first time meeting. Maybe Secret Agent doesn't let any of his cameramen meet
They got
each
that
other.
green
Then
hue to
special
them.
circumstances, it also looks like they have green suits under their coats, which makes sense with the same pattern on their ties. But it doesn't end here, because their flashes suddenly start becoming bright green, and we witness the craziest moment in Skibidi Toilet lore after Plunger Cameraman gets flashed.
Was pretty crazy.
Suddenly, we find ourselves in a room with the secret agent, and there is a lot to talk about before we move on to what he said, which was crazy important for the series' future. If you look carefully, we can actually see 3 things on the right side, and it's the heads of 3 agents.
The TV, the camera, and the speaker.
1 speakerman, and 1 TV man. I don't know if he has these as souvenirs or something else, but it's awfully weird that he has these. Maybe he has been collecting parts.
Maybe that's how he just started building.
But I don't even know after this episode. Also, it looks like his folder is colored green, just like everything else he has. But the real question here that people have been asking is the computer on the left. Many people are speculating that since there are 3 of the race's heads on the right, there is a possibility that a computer race will be added on later in the series, and this is the way Boom is telling us that. Even though there is a possibility,
could be a computer race.
I have no idea. We saw some other references to computers a while ago in the series as well. But to me, it doesn't really make sense to have computer race when there is a TV race, since they are just both monitors.
Yeah, but you could have a laptop.
You could have a new race later in the series one day
instead of a TV.
My assumption is that the secret agent uses this computer to watch the tapes he gathers from cameraman heads, because we see a cameraman bring him a new yellow tape or drive, which I assume is Plunger Cameraman's recordings, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let's first talk about what the secret agent said. In this moment, the secret agent says, "Well done, thanks to you, that scientist is cooked. However, a bigger threat is coming.
Cooked.
That's why certain things have to remain secret. There is no evidence left except one thing. This battle you did not survive, Plungerman." And send him back after he says all this. But what did he mean when he said, "There is no evidence left, except one thing"? I think there is only one conclusion we can come to, and it's that Plunger Cameraman just knew way too much after their raid into the base. First of all, the secret agent mentioned a bigger threat, while showing the Astro toilets, which we already knew that they'd be taking over, but I'm assuming that the Alliance has no idea about this other than the Titans seeing an Astro toilet killing the upgraded DJ toilet. But Plunger Cameraman saw some files about them in the bunker room last episode. Alongside this, he was the only one left that saw the secret agent poster on the wall that day. And he also saw him once again while entering the room where the secret agent was talking to the scientist toilet.
So the scientist got to be dead.
The conversation didn't sound very friendly.
Maybe that's why I thought Plunger Man died. There was two people,
he was the only agent left alive that knew anything about the secret agent and the Astro Toilets file. So we can clearly say that the secret agent wants to remain in the shadows while controlling the war from the sidelines. We still don't know his motives. Only thing we know is that he has his own goals and helps both sides depending on his own needs. One thing that was weird is that even though he had a head from each race, he didn't have any toilets in his room.
True.
Maybe that's a sign that he is closer to the toilet side, which only time will tell. After Plunger Cameraman comes back to reality, suddenly all his body starts malfunctioning and TV Woman hugs Cameraman Woman with a worried, sad face. I would have made a joke about wanting to get hugged too, but this moment
that's
was
why.
just
Okay,
too
so he
sad.
did die.
And even in his last moments, Plunger Cameraman looks up to Titan Cameraman to give his last thumbs up to his other buddy before his camera goes offline. That really was one hell of an episode. And I'll talk about the stuff I might have missed tomorrow.
Okay, well, that's the end of this video. That's why I thought he died, because, well, it looks like he died. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any theories, let me know in the comments. I will see you tomorrow. I love ya. Goodbye.